It's the writer called it a religious holiday. Why are the Most High's people keeping this day? Let us pull away and ask for His forgiveness. Ask the Most High for forgiveness for walking in a pagan day of giving thanks that Satan has set up. Okay, and I want to just draw your attention to this picture here. Okay, not this one. Let me go here. We have this on the Holy Armor Ministry website, the Raw and Uncut Gospel. And if you click this link right here, and you just scroll down and take a look at some of these pictures, I'm going to read what that says. It says, I've had them persecuted, tortured, and burned. Yet the gospel still spreads like a wildfire. If I cannot destroy them, then perhaps they will accept my lies as long as I shroud them within many truths. I will hijack their faith. Notice how he said your faith. It's not a religion. We don't do religion. Hijack their faith and run the largest disinformation campaign this world has ever seen. Alright? I shall set them against the Most High's law, and they shall celebrate my feast. Now, I want to draw your attention back to here when we're going to look up this word, holiday. Alright? And we said, what is the definition of holiday? Now, so what does the word holiday mean? If you look right where the mouse is at right here, it says, let's see if I can highlight this. It's a feast. Feast day. See? Right there. That's what the enemy said. Let me bring it down here. He should wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws. See that? And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of time. Alright? So now the gig is up. The truth is here now, brothers and sisters. And when we're going, as we're going into this part 3 here, we see that we need to repent, okay, and not partake in these days that Satan himself has set up, right? We don't need to partake in those. We need to partake in what the Most High says. So now that you know, it's time to do your due diligence. Zoom in just a tad bit, a bit bigger. So it says, Thanksgiving is a giving of thanks for divine bounty. Churches of all denominations are open for services on this particular Thursday every year. Quite as important as worship on this day is the renewal of family ties. So families, they strengthen this time to sit at the table, right? Look what else what it says. I go straight to the highlighted part so you know right where I'm at. Pilgrims, it says, right? Pilgrims, zoom in a little bit more there. Alright. It says pilgrims and Indians, turkey and pumpkin pie are so much a part of the American tradition that it is hard for us to realize that the beginnings of Thanksgiving go back not only to the old world but to the early world. The pilgrims frowned on all the holidays of merry England and refused to celebrate even Christmas because they knew of its pagan origins. Let's go down some more. Okay. In proclaiming a day of thanksgiving after the crops were gathered and before winter set in, They may have taken a hint from the Old Testament, but they certainly did not know that they were acting in a tradition which went back to the time when men first began to sow and reap. Long before the dwellers by the Nile learned to measure the year or dreamed of building pyramids, all people who grew grain gave thanks at harvest time to the beings who had given them their daily bread for the hard winter months. And it gets the sense, you get the sense of the Anakims, right? The fallen ones that came down to earth, right? Because we know as the children of Israel and those who follow Christ, the Most High in Yeshua, we only give thanks to the Almighty, all right? Let's go ahead and continue on, all right? So it says here, who had given them their daily bread for the hard winter's months. Moreover, these ancient farmers sensed in the changing season and in the cycle of seed to plant to seed again, the miracle of death and resurrection, and turned their wonder at it into legends. All right, and I'm going to read the highlighted part here. Okay, let's go. The Old Testament includes many references to harvest festivals. It is recorded that Moses gave instructions to the Hebrews, who we are, right? Most of us that know who we are, for the celebrations of their harvest festival, which was called the Feast of Tabernacles. Yeshua, whom the world calls as Jesus, observed tabernacles every year of his life, and with good reason. For he gave it to his people Israel, or Yasharallah in the ancient Hebrew, as a reminder of the food he provided for Israel in the wilderness. Remember that rock that followed the Israelites with the sea was Christ. It was Yeshua, and he was the rock. Okay? It says the present harvest and the spiritual harvest to come. That's Christ. When Ahia would feed his people from his son, or through his son. Now we are aware that most Americans do not follow the rituals described above, yet does that make Thanksgiving Day right for us to observe? Is it acceptable for me to celebrate Christmas as long as I don't have a tree or Yule log? Of course not. For Ahia, you see that? Ahia, let's get that. Ahia would not have his people, see? It's a distinction there. His people, the heathens, if they want to do it, the pagans, they want to do it, and they'll answer for it. But Ahia would not have his people to cling to any, look what it says, vestiges, bring this down here, vestiges of practices that portray gods or spirits in food to be worshipped. We who are coming out of, let me get this right, who are coming out of worshiping, okay, let me read that again. We who are coming out of worshiping Ahia and the ways of Babylon. So in other words, you cannot take these holidays or holy days, let me show you again, remember right where I'm at here. In other words, we cannot celebrate these holidays, which also means synonymous for holy day, that has feast days, festivals, a day of observance, just like President Lincoln had mentioned, right? We cannot celebrate and give thanks to the Most High, okay? It says here, let me get that one for you too. There's the Most High. Let me go to 1 Samuel. Delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice as in obeying the voice of the Most High? Behold, look at here now. To obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken, to listen diligently, okay, than the fat of rams. Very clear. I'm going back over here where we were, because see, a lot of brothers and sisters may say, okay, and then this is speaking to us that's coming out of it, okay, we're coming out of Babylon. Read that again. It says, zoom just a tad bit here. Need to get it clear. We who are coming out of worshiping Ahia in the ways of Babylon do not need to cling to a poor copy of what our God, our power, has given us in the Feast of Tabernacles. So we have the Feast of Tabernacles. We don't need to copy anything else. Again, the 15th day of the 7th month. You know, we urge you, brothers and sisters, get with a body, keep the Most High's commandments, begin to rehearse the righteous acts. If you were celebrating these worldly holidays, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, it is going to be something vicious for you on the time when you have to stand before the Most High. You've heard it here. Someone giving you the flyer. It's time to really take heed for it. Seek out for yourself. Seek the face of the Most High with your whole heart and soul. Do some soul searching and ask Him to reveal His truth to you. Alright? Let me continue on. So it says, our need to thank Him for His provision has already been ordained by the Most High in the Feast of Tabernacles. Now it says this. Let's ask ourselves this. Remember what Abraham Lincoln did. Remember what Jeroboam did. Okay? Does man have the right or the authority to ordain days of thanks to the Most High? Do they? Does man have that right? Alright? Does man have that kind of authority? Man, it says, has man been given that authority by Ahia? Ahia answers whether or not man can make his own religious days in counter-distinction to his, whether in ignorance or rebellion. When we see that the first king of the northern kingdom of Israel set up a day of festivities in the 8th month, the 15th day, approximately about the time of Thanksgiving Day, is celebrated in the United States. See that? How the new feast came to be. The King James says that Jeroboam set up a feast in the month which he had devised of his own heart. Mentioning presidents can't do it. Jeroboam couldn't do it. Alright? Look what else it says. It says here. Pardon me, 1 second. I'll pause it for 1 second. And it says, I'll go up here a little bit. You can't see it. It says the NIV states a month of his own choosing, and we see that Jeroboam instituted a feast like the festival held in Judah. Alright? The Most High, Ahia, was angry with Jeroboam for doing this. The picture is very clear. You should be able to see that. We should not ignore the word of the Most High in showing us that it was a substitute festival which would occur a month after the Feast of Tabernacles, the time of Thanksgiving. I mean, man, that should make your mouth drop to the floor. Alright? It goes on and says, it is possible that Jeroboam was instituting in the northern kingdom the Thanksgiving of his day. He had lived outside the land of Israel in the days of King Solomon, and had come into contact with the pagan celebrations of the people in Egypt. Hence the cow. Remember he said the calves? Here you go. Same thing that the high priest Aaron had made up when they told the people to break off the earrings out of their children and their wives' ears, right? Okay. It goes on and says, was he just borrowing from them? It is Satan. There you go. It is Satan who copies the intent of leading Ahia's people astray. I got to get you this picture one more time. I know, hopefully you're not fed up of it. We'll show it to you as much as you can because people need to see it. This guy here. Here's a guy. Remember what he said. I've had them persecuted, tortured, and burned, yet the gospel still spreads like wildfire. If I cannot destroy them, then perhaps they will accept my lies. So it was him that substituted, as long as I shroud them within many truths. I will hijack their faith and run the largest disinformation campaign this world has ever seen. I shall set them against the Most High's law, and they shall celebrate my feast. Every time you see that feast, you think of this. When you think of that feast, you think of this.
When you see Thanksgiving,
You think of Holy Day or Holiday. See? You think of feast, you think of that. And there it is. You think of his feast days, the enemy's feast days, right? That's what he would have you do. Have you celebrate his days, a day of observance, festivals, jubilees, right? Holy Day, Saints Day. I think there was some more that said.
Let's see in contrast now. In contrast.
I hope I didn't not losing you. Still, we're talking about the feast of the covenant that Ahiah gave to Israel and the importance of doing it. So the Most High just said that in verses. What verse is that? That verse is 37 still.
These are the Father's feasts now that we're going over, that the Most High showed to Mashah or Moses when he was up communing with the Most High for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights, and then he came down and he gave Mashah the Constitution or the law of life to teach to his people Israel. Okay, the statutes and commandments of the Most High. Let's listen to a bit of this.
And it says, and they would do what? I'm right there where it says, and make an abominable day the day of testimony, and an unclean day a feast day. And they will confound the days with, or they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean. Are you seeing this? Right there. They will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy. For they will go wrong as to the months, in Sabbaths, in feast, in jubilees.
Father, have mercy. Well, dear family, you've heard it. Now, the decision is yours. Another exclusive, biblical, spiritual, public announcement, sending this out throughout the four corners of the earth, praying that it reaches the elect. May the Most High be with you, Yasharallah. Shalom, Salah, armor up.